morning. I have some apples here that we did not eat fast enough and they are starting to turn bad. So I chopped these up. I'm going to put them in my crock pot. I did this last week as well because there were some that were doing the same thing. And it's funny how the kids, sometimes they love apples and they eat them up super fast, and other times they sit and don't get eaten. So what I did with the last ones, I put them in the crock pot and I ended up with 2 jars of apple butter. This is delicious on top of bread or rolls, and so I'm going to do the same thing with these other apples. I think what I'm gonna do, this one's got room to expand. I'm probably gonna stick it in the freezer. I'm also gonna put this other stuff in the freezer once it's done, but that won't be most likely till tomorrow. And this one we'll leave in the fridge. I'm gonna make rolls today, and we're gonna have those with our apple butter along with other things for our lunch. The way I'm making this apple butter, I'm putting all these apples with a tiny bit of water in my crock pot, putting the lid on, and then this will sit pretty much all day long on low and cook these apples down. Once they are cooked down, I'm gonna get out my immersion blender and blend them up until they are, all the skins and everything is blended into the apple butter. And then I will add some cinnamon and some cloves, and I kind of think that's all I added in the last. I might need to add a little sweetener. I can't remember if I added sweetener to the last one. I should probably taste it and see. These apples are overripe, so they're probably very sweet on their own, but I might need to add a little bit of sweetener in there. Maybe just a bit of stevia or something to give it a little bit extra sweet, so it's more sweet like jelly. The kids will be more likely to eat it if I do that. So that is how I'm making this apple butter, and I will take you along for the process. So we were watching a YouTube channel last night, and the guy was telling us how to make a banana pop, and the kids are going to show you. Crispin tried it out last night and it worked. We'll see if these kids can do it, but it's kind of a fun way to eat a banana. You rip it in half and you roll it between your hands. Don't push too hard. Oh, Kenan did his already. And then you can push it up from the bottom like a popsicle. Yeah? Keep rolling it. Keep rolling it.
Then it pushes up like a popsicle.
That pushes up like a popsicle. They think that's pretty fun. You gotta pull it harder. Maybe have Cadence help you. There you go. Don't push too hard doing that. You'll break your skin and then you won't have a pop anymore. So you'll just have to peel it. Right? Yep. Just in the very bottom. Squeeze from the very, very bottom. There you go. Like a popsicle. Did you get yours, Biddy? Did it work?
The youth channel plays games and it's cool.
Yeah.
And they like eat food and just like that.
Hang on, I'm watching Biddy. There, Biddy got hers. If you would be interested in a video about some of the YouTube channels that we enjoy watching, I could make that a separate video. There are some really good, clean content creators on YouTube that our family enjoys, and I would love to share those with you. So let me know in the comments if that's something you would be interested in. We're working on our school, and we are doing Bible time right now. For our Bible time, we're using Where Faith Grows from Master Books. The first book we finished, or we didn't finish it last year, and we are currently on lesson number 13, and we're talking about self-control. So they had a little experiment to do. We're going to use these lemon lime sparkling water. Not many of us enjoy these, so I don't care too much if they spill out on the ground, but Carrington's going to drink whatever's left, and whoever else wants some.
Can I drink whatever's left too?
Yeah, you can have some too.
I want to have some.
Alright, Biddy, so let me see your paper so I can read what it says to do. Mom showed us something that we want to show you. You'll need 2 cans of carbonated water and a penny. So carbonated means what? Like, it's bubbly, that's right. And a penny, I don't have a penny, but I do have a quarter. That's okay, we don't need to have a penny. It can be a quarter. I read what we're using it for. It doesn't have to be a penny. We're gonna shake it and make it really upset. This is like whenever you get really mad. No, we're not doing that one yet. when you get really mad about something and you're all upset about it, right? You're gonna shake it all up. Stretch your arms out in front of you. And you're gonna open this can up. Whoa! What happened?
It exploded.
It exploded, didn't it? It went all over the place. So what happened whenever we opened the can?
It exploded.
It exploded, didn't it? This is what happens when we let our feelings control us instead of choosing to stop and think and act, right? Here's our second can.
Can I open it this time?
And we're gonna shake it, and get it all upset.
We open it.
Minnie's shaking it and shaking it and shaking it, getting it all upset. Now, this time after we shake the can, we're gonna give it a chance to stop and think before we open it. So we're gonna tap the top of it 20 times. So each of you can tap it 5 times. Okay, and tap it 5 times with the quarter. We don't have a penny.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, and then Kenan can do it. And then Biddy. Okay, I'll even give it 5 taps.
Can I open?
Okay, let Kendon open it this time. So, what happened that time?
Didn't explode.
Did it explode?
No.
Nope, it didn't explode, did it? This time, the water did not overflow, and this can was like us using self-control. The next time something makes me upset, I'm gonna think about this can of water. I don't want to look like the crazy exploding water. Is that what you want to look like?
No.
Out of control foolishness?
No.
Right? We don't want to look like that. I want to stay in control and stop and think about what God says to do before I act. So along with our new lesson, come on buddy, we've got a new memory verse.
What are you guys?
But it is hot out here already. We only have a couple more days of hot weather and then it's supposed to cool off. So hopefully we'll do that. This week has just been hot, like 90s all week and so humid. But hopefully after today and tomorrow it's gonna cool off and it'll be better. Anyway, we came inside to practice our memory verse because we're supposed to yell really loud and there's people in the yard next to us and we don't want them to think we're crazy. So we're going to do it inside instead of outside. Proverbs 25:28. A person without self-control is like a city whose walls are broken through. Alright, it's break time now. I had to take my hair out of my pony. It was giving me a headache. Carrington's still coloring, so she's gonna finish that. And then I'm gonna call the kids back in. We're gonna do our read aloud. We finished Courage of Sarah Noble. We started Twister on Tuesday. This will be a really quick read. We should finish it by the end of next week. And then we'll start our next one with our curriculum. The big kids are working up on the couch. They don't have a ton of stuff to do today, but they do try to work on their co-op homework so that they get that done before co-op next week. Because sometimes if they wait till next week, they've only got 3 days to work on it and then it sneaks up on them. So they're doing that. Coulter rode his bike to the car parts store so that he could get some stuff for the car. He's gonna change the oil and the fuel, not the fuel filter, the oil filter. Maybe, I don't know, something else. Austin said something else. So anyway, that's what everybody else is doing right now. All right, while the kids are having a quick break, I'm gonna get some lunch things started. I have some steaks in the fridge for my husband and I. There's
fun.
bullets shooting everywhere, Nerf bullets. I'm gonna make rolls, so I'm gonna start that, and then I don't know yet what the kids are gonna have with the rolls, but I'm gonna start the rolls first. These rolls are just my basic roll recipe. I have a link in the the description box for these rolls. They are super easy and very delicious. Anytime I make them, everyone tells me how good they are, and they have just raved about them. So make sure you go check that out if you would like to try these out for your family. I did use some fresh ground flour to make these, and then I mixed it with white flour just to make them a little fluffier, but to still have the nutrition of the fresh ground flour, since I wasn't sure yet what I was making for lunch for the kids to eat. I used olive oil in here. The ingredients are really simple. It's hot water with some honey or sugar, some yeast, some oil, some salt, and some flour, and that is it. But you can also fancy them up by adding garlic salt or any kind of spices or herbs that you want. You could possibly add some cheese in there and try that. I've never done that before, but it sounds like it would be delicious and it would probably work really well. So I got these all mixed up and I put them into a greased bowl so that it could double in size while we finished our schoolwork. And then you'll see later on that I formed them into little tiny rolls, and then those also have to rise, but you'll see that a little bit later. Alright, we are finished with everything except for our read aloud. And I think I'm going to do that after lunch because the kids are really busy playing. I'm getting the rest of our lunch stuff ready. Today, I'm making the rolls, but I'm also just going to cook some ground beef. And I have some leftover spaghetti that I'm going to warm up. I also have leftover rice and some sweet and sour sauce from our dinner last night. And so I'm going to warm those things up, and then the kids can have some of each with their rolls. And that's going to be our lunch for today. It's pretty simple and quick. After the dough is doubled in size, you want to pinch off little pieces, and then I like to just form it into a ball by pulling the top part down underneath, and then I squeeze it through my thumb and my finger after it's smooth on the top and pinch it off, and that makes a perfect little roll shape that I line up on this pan. And then we will cover those with a towel and let them rise again to double. It takes about 20 minutes for that. And then you bake them at 350 for about another 20 minutes. And it's really easy and they're so good. Just a great addition to a meal that will fill bellies with some of that nutrition from the fresh ground wheat. And then I had just the hamburger, the rice, the sweet and sour sauce, and the spaghetti for our lunch that day. That evening we were headed to the church for an activity, and I wanted to get these apples blended up before we left so that they could finish cooking, and then that way when I got home I could jar the apple butter. They were ready to be blended, so I just first off stuck my immersion blender down in there and turned it on and just started moving it around. This works so well, and it makes it really fast and easy to get all of those peels blended up with the meat of the apple. And then after I had that to be about applesauce consistency, I added some cinnamon, ground cinnamon, and then I also added some cloves because we had that the last time and really enjoyed it. And then I stuck the blender in again and blended that all up until it was mixed well. So now I will let this sit like this for a little bit. It actually is pretty thick, but I want it to be a little bit thicker. It's more like applesauce. So I'll let this sit. It may end up sitting for the evening till I get back tonight. Then I'll transfer it into some jars and let it cool off, and then I will put it in the freezer. Alright, that is it for today. Thanks for hanging out with us, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.